This is the story of Oliver, an orange cat with the face of innocence, who lived a life full of love, laughter, and sunshine. But every story has an ending, and sometimes endings arrive sooner than we expect. This is the last goodbye, the final day of Oliver's life, told through the walls of a hospital. Early that morning, Oliver was rushed into the hospital. His steps were heavy, his body weak, and yet his eyes still carried a spark of hope. His family surrounded him, each of them with the same orange cat face, each carrying the same fear in their hearts. They knew something was wrong. Deep down, they knew this day might be different. Oliver had always been strong. As a child, he was the one who ran the fastest, who laughed the loudest, who brought joy to everyone he touched. But in recent months, his health had faded. The illness crept into his body like a thief in the night, stealing his strength, his laughter, his freedom, and now it had brought him here. The family sat in the waiting room. The clock ticked, the lights buzzed, but no one dared to speak. Oliver sat between his parents, staring down at his hands, his face pale and tired. His mother reached over, holding his hand tightly, as if love could keep him alive a little longer. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. In that silence, every memory rushed back. His first day at school, his first bike ride, the way he used to chase butterflies in the fields when he was small. All of it lived only in the silence. If this story touched your heart, let Oliver's love live on by sharing it with someone you care about. Don't forget to subscribe, because every story deserves to be remembered. The doctor walked in. His face, too, was that of an orange cat, but unlike the family, his expression was heavy, burdened with truth. He carried a file in his hand, but inside that file wasn't just paper. It was the weight of every heartbeat Oliver had left. "We'll do what we can," the doctor said softly. But the words everyone feared were clear. The illness had spread. There was nothing more that medicine could do. Hope slowly slipped away from the room. Tears filled the eyes of his father, who had always been strong. But in that moment, even he crumbled. Oliver was wheeled into the ICU. Machines surrounded him, their beeps echoing through the room, each sound a reminder of how fragile life truly is. His chest rose and fell slowly, every breath a struggle, every heartbeat borrowed. He looked around the room, at the wires, at the machines, and then at his family. They weren't ready to let go, but he had already made peace. His brothers and sisters gathered around the bed. They hugged him carefully, afraid he might break, but holding on as if love could keep him alive. Oliver whispered weakly, his voice cracking, "Don't cry, I'm okay." But they couldn't stop. Their tears fell on his hands, on his gown, on his face. 4 years, he had been their protector, their laughter, their joy. And now, they were losing him. Love held him tighter than pain ever could. As Oliver closed his eyes, he was no longer in the hospital. In his mind, he was back in the fields of his childhood. He was running again, chasing butterflies, his laughter filling the sky. He remembered birthdays filled with candles and cakes, school days filled with mischief and smiles, and evenings when his family sat together, sharing meals and stories. For a moment, the machines disappeared. The beeping was gone. In its place was joy, sunshine, and freedom. The past was alive, more alive than the present. His family knew the truth, but still they prayed. In the quiet hospital chapel, they joined their hands, orange cat faces lit by the glow of flickering candles. Their prayers were soft, but desperate. They begged for a miracle, for a few more days, for one more smile. When medicine fails, only prayers remain. Back in his room, Oliver looked weaker. His breathing slowed. He lifted his hand, trembling, and placed it into his mother's palm. She held him as if letting go meant losing him forever. With his last strength, he whispered, "I love you." His words were broken, but his meaning was whole. His family cried harder, their hearts breaking, but at least they heard his final gift. The monitor beeped slower and slower. The nurses rushed in. The doctor tried to comfort the family, but deep down, everyone knew. The final beep echoed through the room. Silence filled the air. Oliver's story had ended. And just like that, he was gone. The next day, the room was empty. The bed was neatly folded. The machines turned off, the space silent. His family stood outside, staring through the glass window, knowing he would never return. But though the bed was empty, their hearts were not. Oliver's love, his laughter, his life, lived forever inside them. The hospital walls had witnessed his last goodbye. But his story would continue, carried in the hearts of those who loved him. This was Oliver's story, a story of love, pain, memories, and goodbyes. Life is fragile, and every moment is precious. Hold your loved ones close. Say the words you've been meaning to say, because one day, it may be your last chance. This was the last goodbye of an orange cat who lived like sunshine and left like a whisper. If this story touched your heart, let Oliver's love live on by sharing it with someone you care about. Don't forget to subscribe, because every story deserves to be remembered. The children place flowers on his coffin. "We'll make you proud, Papa," they whisper. Their tiny voices break through the silence, a promise carried by the wind. Through her tears, his wife stands tall. She knows she must now be both mother and father. She holds their hands, guiding them forward, even though her heart is broken. And so ends the story of the orange cat. Not with riches or glory, but with love. His life was short, but it was full. His goodbye was painful, but it was beautiful, for in the end, the measure of a life is not how long it lasts, but how deeply it touches others. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone you love. Tell your family how much they mean to you. And remember, life is fragile, but love is eternal. Subscribe for more stories that remind us what truly matters.